B-Rock here with another stream. Hopefully, all of you are having a wonderful day. It is Thursday, October 27th, 9:47 a.m. Central Standard Time if you're watching us live. Crypto market cap sitting at $1.001 billion. Bitcoin dominance 39.6%. ETH dominance at 19.1%. Bitcoin facing some resistance, kind of what we went over yesterday. Right now, sitting at 20,600, just below that. Right now, ETH sitting at 1552, BNB at 288, Cardano at 40 cents, Solana at $31, Matic at 92 cents, Polkadot at 645. Taking a look at the stock market, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 1.37% for the daily, or 434.83 points. If I'm being 100% with you guys, I did sell off literally like pretty much all my stocks yesterday. May or may not have been a good choice. Again, not financial advice, but I sold them off because I had bought some past few weeks and past month or two, and surprisingly, I was actually turning profit on some of those stocks. Now, taking a look at a few other of my stocks that I bought, going back over a year. If we go like just back 2 years ago, I was buying stocks like clean energy fuels, like somewhere around here, and it was literally right as the stock was tipping out. Now I'm buying it for like a third of the price, so I did sell it at a loss on some of those, but everything else I was pretty much in the green, so that was good. I sold off a good chunk of my crypto too. I don't want to scare anyone, but I think we are going into some tough times, and there's gonna be massive amount of opportunities to make some serious money if you're willing to buy into fear. While others are fearful, as long as you have some money on the side and you deploy it. Maybe you don't want to deploy it all at once. You might want to put little amounts and see from there. If the market continues to go down, you just keep piling in. Again, not financial advice, but that's my mentality. Um, this is Bitcoin's 1 hour chart. We can see that we did get rejected right around 20,800, 20,700, upwards to 21,000. This is nothing new for Bitcoin, because if we look at the the daily chart, this is a resistance zone that Bitcoin has faced before. It last was trying to beat this resistance roughly 3 weeks ago, back on Tuesday, October 4th, just a little bit over 3 weeks ago. And we are getting rejected where we had found support just almost 2 months ago, going into even like a month and a half ago. What was once support is now resistance. Looking at the 1 minute chart for Bitcoin, again, things aren't looking too hot. We are coming down a bit. We did have a wick down to roughly 20,425. Have bounced since, but I think the stock market and crypto, I think, are just going to go to the downside here in I'd say the next a few hours, if not tomorrow or Monday, in anticipation for Federal Reserve's rate hike, maybe 75 basis points and maybe 100. It would surprise everyone. It would be pretty dovish if the Federal Reserve did 50 basis points, but we'll see. Hey guys, just want to let you know I found my costume for this year for Halloween. This is the day trader costume. As you can see, I'm working at McDonald's again because crypto and stocks are no good. So I got to go get a day job. Um, in all seriousness, it's all centralized. Reason why I titled the video this, because this is going off the whole narrative that we have the OFAC compliant block visualization, the last 100 blocks, and 99 out of 100 were in compliance of the OFAC. What does this mean? Well, if essentially if basically they can censor anything they choose or wish, as long as a majority of the blocks vote to do so. So again, you could just have a small majority, maybe like 51% of the blocks, and voila, it's censored. This is very anti um, this is like the antithesis of crypto. Crypto is supposed to be borderless payments that aren't monitored or aren't being, watched and by the government and such, and everything's not censored. It's basically freedom of speech, freedom of press, and such. Well, that's not going to be happening on Ethereum, and most of crypto is built on Ethereum, so it's not looking good, you guys. Uh, XRP, another um, altcoin that looks to be positioned to be with the central banks, just surpassed 4.35 million total wallet addresses. So there's that. I'm not a big fan of XRP. I hate it way more than Ethereum. I don't really hate Ethereum. I just think it is with the latest ESG nonsense that they're pushing. I definitely think they're conforming to the institutional model and what World Economic Forum and all them want to do. And I'm not about that. I actually sold some of my ETH yesterday, which I didn't think I was going to do, but forget that. I'm not about that. I want some form of decentralization, but it looks like we're not getting decentralization over on Binance Smart Chain. I sold that shit a few days ago too. Just in Kazakhstan central bank to integrate CBDC on Binance Smart Chain. Not good. Again, I'm not like against them working with institutions and such, but the rate that they're doing it is a bit concerning. Like it's almost like they're bending backwards, bending over for institutions and the governments of the world. It's a little scary, you guys. Life under CBDC and social credit score. If you also add, they will track individual carbon footprint. This will be a common occurrence in the near future, and that's what people aren't realizing. I'm sorry, sir, your card has been declined due to your political views. Like, this is the future that we're kind of hurtling towards with the whole CBDC nonsense and the polarization. The parties couldn't be further from each other in any other point in history besides right now, and it's concerning, you guys. Like, we might have a real conflict, maybe not even over in Europe. It might just be in our own home country. um it's kind of frightening what some politicians are proposing. uh Going off of the CBDC discussion, CBDCs are coming sooner than you think. You can't vote, hope, slow down, or stop CBDCs from happening. They're coming, you guys. Central bank puppets are aligning together on this. Buy Bitcoin before it's too late. Store it on a hardware wallet or cold storage. Start transacting peer to peer. As we discussed, the chancellor, or sorry, the new what's it called? The new prime minister of Britain basically came out and said that he wants to rewire the entire global financial system for net zero carbon. This will attack crypto by and large, and though people will say that, oh, it's good for crypto and such, it's not. He's not endorsing it. He's very pro CBDC. He's very pro centralization of power and authority, and these people need to remain in check. We need to keep an eye on these people. We need to not endorse what they're proposing because it's all a wash. They're lying through their teeth. The new globalist British Prime Minister has just reinstated a ban on fracking in the middle of an energy crisis. Again, like more clown behavior from these people that claim to care about you. Japan's upcoming stimulus package is $454 billion, money printer going burr. But this guy's claiming that Reuters says it's likely to be 170 billion. So again, there's discrepancies. Got to be careful about where you're getting your information. Either way, money printer's going burr. It's not really the. I'm not saying the dollar amount doesn't matter at all, but $170 billion is nothing to scoff at. And if it's actually 454 billion, my goodness, we're talking near $500 billion, you guys. $1.5 trillion asset manager Credit Suisse to lay off 9,000 employees as part of a radical restructuring. Again, we're seeing this restructuring occur across the board as companies are faced with hard times with the oncoming and looming recession. Credit Suisse has posted a massive third quarter net loss of $4.09 billion. This is crazy, you guys. It is getting ugly. The bank is planning to raise $4 billion. This is one of the biggest banks in Europe. If one of the biggest banks in Europe is having this issue, what does that tell you about potentially the other banks of its size? Probably having similar issues, if not worse. I doubt many of them are doing much better. Justin Zuckerberg's Meta stock falls over 10% after hours. Its quarterly profit more than halved. Yikes. Twitter will be delisted from the New York Stock Exchange on October 28th, which is tomorrow, you guys, according to a delisting notice from the exchange. Here's Elon Musk tweeting out he's entering the Twitter HQ. Let that sink in. Oh, brother. They're pretty crazy. He is going through with buying Twitter up. Pretty crazy stuff. Elon tells Twitter employees they can work from home, just not for Twitter. Reminder that America's energy crisis is mostly United States Democrats' fault. Don't identify as R or D, but as an energy expert, I must say this. Had Democrats spent the last 3.5 years liberating U.S. oil/gas investment, production, transport instead of strangling them, energy would be far cheaper. America is experiencing our worst energy crisis since the 1970s. High oil prices are making driving expenses, while high natural gas prices are making heating and electricity far more expensive. Above all, in the Northeast, where some ratepayers might see prices more than 2x last winter's. Yikes. Here's a chart of residential natural gas price over the last several winters from the U.S. Energy Information Administration. Notice the massive spike projected for this winter, meaning record heating bills for many. Yeah, not a good sign, you guys. Democrats are claiming there's nothing they could have done about today's oil and natural gas prices. These prices, they say, are outside of America's control because they are largely set by global markets. Yeah, that's a load of horseshit. In fact, had Democrats been pro-oil/gas, our prices would be much lower. Democrats could have ensured far lower gas oil prices despite global tumult had they, upon taking power in 2019, liberated oil investment, production, transport, liberated natural gas investment, production, transport. Instead, they systemically strangled oil and gas. How could they have made prices lower? By supporting the liberation of oil investment, production, transport. Could have unleashed our vast resources and industrial ingenuity to dramatically add to the global oil supply, putting major downward pressure on prices. Energy Secretary Granholm's statement that oil as a global market is controlled by a cartel called OPEC captures the view that U.S. policy has little effect on global markets, but as the shale revolution proved, American industry can have a huge effect on global markets. American oil producers can only have a huge effect on global markets if investors are free to invest in oil production. That's key word right there. But Democrats have sabotaged oil investment by one, supporting various ESG policies that call for reduced oil investment, and two, threatening oil producers' existence. Since Barack Obama ran for president, declaring the age of oil must end in our time, and continue through Joe Biden's guarantee that we're going to end fossil fuel, U.S. Democrats have threatened the future of oil production, a major deterrent for investment. Leading Democrats like Warren and Sanders constantly threaten U.S. oil production and make good on those threats by trying to prevent crucial oil infrastructure projects such as pipelines. Having these kind of politicians in power drives investment away from oil. Is it any wonder that threatened increase incessantly by U.S. Democrats and other anti-oil forces? Global investment in oil declined dramatically despite growing long-term demand. Between 2011 and 2021, oil gas exploration investments declined by 50%. Less investment equals less supply, which equals higher prices. So I could read through all of this, you guys, but you get the price. You get the point. Democrats, by and large, screwed the United States when it came to oil, and we're paying the price at the pump for it. So good job, Democrats, and good job to the Republicans that worked alongside them to make that happen. So, yeah, two thumbs for you guys up. United States has 25 days of diesel left. The day the trucks stop running is the day the economy crashes, and it's not going to get better anytime soon. Not sure if the economy will crash at that exact day, but could we see a drop in the market as a result? I definitely think it's in the cards, considering the Federal Reserve will be doing a rate hike next week. Will it be 75 base points? Will it be 100? Will it be 50? I think it'll be 75 or 100, but that's just my take. Here we have White House admin, speaker.
So you're asking oil companies to further lower gas prices. What makes you think that they are going to listen to an administration that is ultimately trying to put them out of business?
How is the administration trying to put them out of business?
Well, they produce fossil fuels, and this president says he wants to end fossil fuel.
Thanks, everybody.
Again, it's so hard to tell whether things are tactfully edited or not nowadays because the clown show that we see, like, nothing really surprises me at this point. Luke Rakowski says, I mean, pretty much the two-party system is pulling the lever, changes the color of the trolley from red to blue. It's true. It's like no matter what, as long as the trolley's the color of the people that it's running over, it's okay, you know. Biden says China's President Xi knows we are not seeking conflict. President Xi says China is willing to collaborate with the U.S. to find a way to get along and benefit each other. Is this all just hearsay or talks, you know, just for to look good on paper before the midterms? I'm not sure. Moldova, if you are hungry and cold and you dare to protest Maisandu, Zelensky and Ursula von der Leyen, you are beaten and arrested. This is disgusting. Again, these people aren't able to properly protest against the people that are in power, the people who quote unquote serve these people that are getting arrested. It's disgusting. And you know, and we want to talk about how other countries are so bad with humanitarian rights. Like, come on. We got to fix our shit before we start talking about our neighbors, you know. U.S. is hastening the development of new nuclear weapons in Europe, coming from Politico. Again, tensions seem to not be cooling over in Europe. Huge news: the new Swedish right-wing government is scrapping the renewable energy plan. They're also getting rid of the environment ministry. They want to work to promote more nuclear power that the Greens tried to dismantle. And this is pretty cool because we see Sweden possibly taking the proper steps to become less and less reliant on Russia for gas, and meaning they could potentially supply their neighboring countries with nuclear energy, which would benefit Europe as a whole. But again, less stranglehold on Europe via oil. Here we have Albert Bourla, or whatever his name is. He's like one of the top dogs, big pharma guys, CEO of Pfizer. his next. This is supposedly like called guilty gulping or whatever. It's like basically when you say something you know is utterly a lie, you may, without even realizing it, do this guilty gulp thing. I think it looks like he's trying to cough or something, but he's trying to suppress it by all means. Like he's trying his hardest to do that. Could he have COVID right now, and that's why he's doing that? I don't know.
Walensky wants to get
Here we have
a
Rochelle
big moment.
Walensky, CDC Director Rochelle Walensky.
Dr. Walensky, I guess you just got your booster COVID shot. How do you feel? How'd it go?
I feel great. I'm delighted to have gotten my fall updated vaccine, my bivalent vaccine, so I can be as protected as possible over the coming months.
Rochelle Walensky, director of the CDC, has tested positive for COVID.
Walensky is up to date with her vaccines.
Vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick, and that it's not just in the clinical trials, but it's also in real world data.
Did we know about stopping immunization before it's entered the market? No.
This doesn't work, and we should not be pushing it on kids. Now, if Rochelle Walensky wants to get 11 boosters, that's up to her. But kids should not be required to get
Agreed.
this as a precondition of being educated.
That's crazy. 5 times boosted and still got it. Wow. Well, mRNA vaccine produces spike protein in cytoplasm by quote unquote mutating genetic code, causing damage to endothelial cells or heart and blood vessels, clots in legs, lungs, heart, aka myocarditis, brain, aka stroke, paralysis, azoospermia, infertility, dementia, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, the amount of young people that are just randomly dropping dead after taking the COVID vaccine. And a lot of them are like in shape. You know, they're young people too. And then we have a lot of these. Some funeral homes are claiming that when they're doing the when they're going through the bodies and stuff, they're finding these huge blood clots that they have no explanation for, and it's never happened at the rate that it's happening. So I think common denominator, we all kind of know what it's from. Instead of a digital ID app that allows governments to snoop on us, a better idea would be a digital ID app that tracks government spending, MPs' expenses, second jobs, time spent in parliament, and their broken promises because they serve us rather than us serving them. It's true. Why, if the government serves us, why are they trying to track us? Shouldn't we be tracking what they're doing with our hard-earned dollars or, pounds, wherever you may be across the globe? Tucker Carlson says Trudeau's made a euthanasia program is about to become a lot more common in Canada as a way of cutting down on healthcare costs. It's a new law. It will allow children to be killed by doctors without the approval of their parents. Again, this sounds crazy. It sounds a little bit radical, but I don't think it's far-fetched because I do know that certain doctors already are allowing kids to basically decide that they want to go through a transitioning so they can start taking hormone blockers, and the parent is never even aware of this or notified. It's just kind of swept under the rug. Crazy stuff, you guys. And and the reality is, again, this isn't that crazy to consider, or being real, because Governor Cuomo, like many other governors around the U.S. during the COVID lockdowns, sent sick people into nursing homes. It's like, why do these people die in the nursing homes? Blah 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 blah. It's like, because you let sick people in, idiot. Anyways, leave you guys with this. Breaking: Israel is bombing Syria's Damascus yet again. This is the third unprovoked Israeli aggression against Syria in less than a week. Where's the global outrage? Where are the calls for sanctions? Yeah, Crazy how that works, right? We only it only benefits us when it's certain countries, you know. We pick and choose the winners and losers who we give a shit about. That's just foreign policy for you. 101 from the West. But that about does it for today, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be notified when we go live next. I will see you guys all tomorrow, roughly around the same time. Till then, take care.